I'm getting better at starting the quick time now. Okay, right now we successfully wrap our app with the provider, which is a higher order component. Okay, what's the next step? These are the setup you have to follow, right?
Basically, you wrap the app with the router, right?
Which one?
Router.
The router. Okay.
So in there, router should go inside provider.
I'm not so sure, but both ways still work. Right? They both work.
What happens if you put the router, the router, in the other section? This is the way Lloyd did it, and the provider in this section.
So basically, if you put the router inside the app here, right?
Yeah, but
then it means that the router is inside the provider.
What if we wrap it outside of the provider?
Still work.
He's not sure. We can try it.
I'm not so sure about it,
Yeah.
but it still work. I'm sure that it still work. But like there's maybe some XK that will cause some problems. You cannot say right now. Only when you go into that problem, you can just change the order. That's it. Okay. What's the next step? Okay, you have the provider. You need the store. Okay. So basically, you have to import store, and then you put the store in here. Store equal store. Okay, but right now we don't have the store yet. Okay, so I'm gonna comment out these two lines. Okay, what's the next step? Okay, that's it. Okay, we are gonna define our store here. Okay, go to. Okay, go inside our shop. We make a folder called Redux. Inside Redux, you make a new file called store. Yes.
Okay.
Store. And how we should like define our store? We have to follow the documentation on how to define the store. That here, the store is something that belongs to the Redux. Okay, go back to Redux documentation. Read it. Okay, here. Okay, basically they have some method called React Store, and they wrap the reducer. This is the reducer. So in order to use store, we need a reducer. And how do we define a reducer? Here's how.
What's that? Now, what is it before it was a switch?
Basically, it's just a function to to accept a command, and then follow that command and execute some logic. Okay, like if you tell them a command, okay, increment, then your logic, okay, I will take the initial state and I will add it 1 unit. That's it. In Lloyd's example, he tell the reducer, okay, sign me in, and then the reducer executes some code like set the current user to that specific user. That's it.
Does it have to follow a list of command or?
List of command. Right now we don't have the list of command yet, but we have to define it first, right? Here's a command.
Yeah.
Command. Yeah, command D. Okay. So we need to define a store. Not now. Function const reducer. Just call it reducer for now, right? Easy. Reducer is a function. Okay, cool. Inside that function, we have only two elements: the state and the action. State and the action. And what state here? State, basically we have to give it an initial state. Okay. What we're looking at right now, we want to have a color. Okay. We want this color to be dynamic, depend on how we click on this button. So we have color here. What's the default value? Red. Not equal. red. Okay, so this look ugly, so we take it out, put it in here, cause initial state equal to an object, and then put the color in here. Okay, and here we have color. Yes, we have action. Now we have to look at the action. Say we have to use switch case or if else. Which one is better? Switch case in this case. Okay, switch. Shit, I don't remember the syntax. What?
Do the second one down.
That works. Okay, this works. Key or action.
Oh man, just Google, man. Switch case.
Use the VS Code shortcut, man.
What, really?
Yeah, right there. Delete the whole line, type in switch. Switch. And then press down, and press down. And then you gotta press down one time.
Man, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Actions. Action is an object. We want to look at the command, right? Type. Action type, okay. And then here we have a string. We don't know it yet. Okay, we have return, change to return something. Okay, by default we want to return our state or initial state, doesn't matter, just return state. Okay. And here it depends on how we the command that we want. Right now what do we want? Change the color for me, okay? Change the color. Alright. And we do some logic here. Should we do like color an object? We return an object because our state is an object. Okay, we return an object, and inside the object we have the color equal to what? Random color. Right now, let's say just change to blue. Okay, and then what? Create a star. Okay, how do we create a star? This is how we import it. No, not here. In here. Copy this. It's from Redux. Remember, it's from Redux JavaScript. Put in here. Copy this. Const star equal to reducer. So look at here. Restore reducer. Cool. And we have to export our star. Export default, right? Does what?
Let's find out. I think it'll work, man. I don't see any complaint.
Yes. Okay. Now we have to import our star. Import star from star. And then
Redux.
okay. Any question up to now? Cool, right? And inside our app, let's say we want to call it. Right now we are hard coding our color to red, but we already have the star here. With default value is red. So we trying to use Redux now. To use Redux with hook, we have something magical called use selector. From where? From where I don't know. I have to read it. Blah blah blah. Not here. It's React Redux. Here you go. Use selector. You have to import it from React Redux. Okay, cons color equal to use selector. And what should be inside state? It's a function state. I think state.color. Yeah, should be state.color because our state here is a whole object. Shit, man, go away. It's an object. A whole object here. Inside that object, we have a key called color. So state here dot color. Okay. And then let's start our app. See, red, still red now. Still work. Oops. Store is not defined. Which line? I have to call it.
I don't think you can export it that way.
Yeah. Where is it? Here. Call store and then export. Store. Okay. Now it works. Red. What if I change this to black? It's black. So the next step, we want to make a function that whenever we click the button, we fire that function, and that function will execute this command here. Send a command here. We will send a command here and change that color to blue, right?
Making it input.
Okay. After that, calls a function, which is dispatch. You have to follow this, man. You cannot change anything. You can change the name here, dispatch, to something else, but you have to use dispatch here. Where do I get this magical function here? I got it from React Redux documentation. It tells me how to use it.
It's on the right, guys. Okay, those are the most important ones. It's like a table of contents on the right sidebar.
Look at this, React, use this part. And to use this part here, we have to do it like this. You can change the name here and copy this. Put it here. We already have that React Redux, so we don't need this slide. Just cut it. Cool. We have the function called dispatch. What's this function take as arguments?
A dispatch, guys, you guys can think of as dispatch as just basically a way to describe an action. A way we're going to describe and execute an action on our application. Okay?
Okay. Now we have dispatch on click equal to a function. Dispatch, we are sending a command which say type change the color. Let's see.
Will this work? Who thinks this will work? Why will this not work, Hank?
Because he put it wrong. Or it has a typo. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure?
You're having a typo. There is a typo.
Okay.
So what will happen when he clicks it? Now. Blue?
To what? To what? Blue? It does change to blue.
Amazing.
Why did you click it again?
Hmm?
Can you click it again?
It's blank. I'll click
If
again.
you click again, what do you expect?
It's still
Blue.
blue.
It's just gonna say blue.
It's always blue.
Yeah.
We want it to be random, right? So we have to do some logic there. Okay, change the color. Random. Let's just say from red, blue, and green, right? Cons array equal to red and to her blue and green. Okay, in here, let color let my color equal to how do we get it? Mask dot floor. What should be in there? Mask dot random
Times array dot length.
multiply
Array dot length.
array dot length. Sure, that's it.
No, but you gotta wrap this in like an array. It's gonna give you a number.
It's gonna get me a number, and then we have to
Array in the very front.
array here,
I'm pretty sure.
and then we have a number there. Okay, and instead of hard color to blue, we call this my color. Let's see if it works. Wow, it's random. Okay.
Incredible.
So right now we are only look at the action type. We have another key called dispatch. No, payload. Actually, you can call it anything, man. Anything. I will show you why. But normally people will call it payload. Okay. And what if I copy this magical function? Magical thing here. I put it in here. Let's say call khóa. I'm setting khóa of no, I'm setting an array to my reducer, and I call it khóa. Okay, and I'll read khóa here. Fuck, I'm lost now. No, okay.
Guys, what he's doing right now is he's about to inject a new key into our reducer. It's going to be hidden inside of something, either state or action.
Okay. Action dot khóa.
I know it's quite confusing.
My sense.
Why?
And now we delete this line.
Because you often get data from the component. Like earlier, we got the data, the email, and the password from the component. Okay, so
Nice.
this is why the
Let's not
payload exists.
define.
Oh.
What's undefined? Action dot khóa. I call this khóa here. Length of undefined action dot khóa.
Need to undefined.
Can read property length of undefined.
Can you block the accent down?
You didn't save it, man. Look where it says this.
Oh shit,
And
man!
there message. It didn't save it.
Something shit happened. Okay, it was. What happened there, right? I will explain. Basically, I'm sending another key called khóa, which is an array of red, blue, and green. Okay. Normally, you would call it payload. Man, don't call it khóa. That's stupid. Call it payload. That's how people call it. Okay. Now we change all the khóa here to payload. Okay. Now you do some logic in here. You get the random color from the array. You put it in here. That's how you use the payload.
Any questions?
So all your logic will be inside the reducer, not inside the component here. Okay.
Not all of it, but
Most of it. Most of it. Yeah.
You
Not
still-
all of it. Not all of it. You still have to define like an array here. Like, let's think of it. Why should I put an? Why did I put an array here? Why don't I put it right in here? My store here. What if it changes depend on the user input, right? Like the user only want to get the random color from these three colors, for example, in this case.
Could someone help us make it so that you can choose any color? Any color. How could we do any color?
Random, totally random colors.
Yeah.
No, I want the user to be able to type in a color and then us make that box that color.
So we don't need that random now.
Okay, let's make this simpler. Yeah.
Let color equal to
Action.
action dot payload. Okay.
So we're gonna get the data from the color from somewhere. Where?
Now we're gonna send some
Right here. Yeah.
some my color. Okay. And now we have to define my color. Shit. Equal to something red for now. Now we want it to be dynamic, depend on the user input. That's pretty easy.
You gotta use the concept we talked about the last 2 weeks.
Add another input box, right? Okay, this is with suppose on change equal to what? A function. Is right now. What should be in here? Ooh. A function. Okay. Arrow function.
What do we do inside the function?
You want to set my color.
We need to introduce a new piece of state. Okay? Introduce a new piece of state. There's a big error right here. We cannot manipulate that value easily
Now we're gonna
without
use
introducing other bugs.
oh, my color set. I understand what T wanted to do, but he wants to use this part right here, right? You should not do that. You will see some like bugs, like Lloyd said. What if the user type R? Like he hasn't finished the word yet, right? Okay, that's why we need the submit button or click enter something. Set my color. Okay, equal to use state. Give it some default value. Red. Man, I hate red now. And inside here we call it set my color. A function, inside a function we say depend on what? E dot target dot value. Oh my god, I forgot it, but you remember it. Put it here. No complaint. Let's see. You state it's not defined. Import it.
You guys have to memorize this stuff, man. This is state. Okay? When things change because of the user, it's state. That's almost always the answer.
Now, what if I want to create? Why is it black? Wow, it's still black.
Look at.
It doesn't matter what we put in here. It doesn't matter because we haven't clicked the button yet, right? We define black here. It doesn't matter what the heck is this. So put in there for like to prevent some unforeseen bugs. Okay, when we click it, what happened? We see red. We see red. What if I change to blue now? You sure?
Now it should go
It's blue.
Who can make it so that as soon as you type, it changes colors?
It just come with errors though. Like if you put in GRE, that's not color, so
Whatever, it wouldn't show it at school. It would have a default color, right?
it just goes
It will show white. It will show
Come on,
white.
guys. We can make it so that as soon as you type, it changes the color. No clicking is necessary.
So within your on change, you need to also call change the color.
So right now we have a neat, very sexy one-line piece of code. But I'd say that we probably need to have a couple lines. So how can we have a couple lines of code? Probably just a little bit. Amazing.
No, something wrong.
Close it. You get the only line.
Okay. Default is black. What do you type in here? Doesn't work. This works actually. Why is it white there?
Hmm.
Why is it white? Because when you type RE, the CSS doesn't understand RE. What color is RE, right? Only when you type D here, it understands now.
Can someone help us fix that? How can we make that?
No guarding to say if there's nothing then stick black or whatever.
So how can we fix that?
How do you do that?
It's on line 16, guys. No, just do it right there. Here it is. Why'd you even do that one?
I want to do this.
No. Do color or something. Delete the string. Yeah. You can delete the outside of it too. You need new string condition. It can be an inside too, doesn't matter.
Let's say, let's change it to red first. Okay, and now we can't go red, blue, still blue.
And we can make this code a little bit cleaner. Right. We also don't even, so right here, the color is automatically going to be a string, and that red is automatically a string, so we don't even need string concatenate here. That works. Incredible. Amazing.
Okay, any question?
So our goal here for the rest of the lab is much simpler. We're just going to sign in on one page, and we're going to send the current user and the password to another page. I think that is the most common use case for Redux. That's one piece of data you're going to want to know everywhere. So we want you guys to read through the documentation, just thinking about what we saw here, where we're just like, you know, manipulating, we're sending data and state through each component, no matter where they are in relation to the app.js component, right? Because sometimes you're going to have deeply nested children, as displayed here. For example, our app component will render another component, which is a parent. Okay, it's a parent to another component. The parent is the parent to a grandchild component. This grandchild component is actually a grandchild of what? App. But it is a direct descendant of parent. And that shit gets confusing. We only got fucking grandparent, child, grandchild right now, we've already started getting confused. Okay, imagine when you start having dozens of levels of nesting. Okay, it's much more difficult. So just know that by using use dispatch, use selector, it's basically use dispatch, use selector, and this concept of a store and a provider, like 5 or 6 moving parts, right? We can, in fact, inject data into any part of our application. Do you have Discord?
Discord.
So I sent an illustration here. Sorry about that. I want to see your mouse.
It's general.
How come I can't see this? Oh, here it is. There's an illustration right here. This is a little bit more of a complicated one, but just know this big yellow box is the store. It contains the state, and it also contains other parts like the reducer and then some other stuff that we talked about. But don't worry about that right now. That's an even higher level of abstraction. But this state right here is an object. It's just a JavaScript object, and we're going to manipulate it in conjunction with our reducer. When we manipulate this state, that value, that state, that object is injected into our view. What is a view?
UI.
Yeah? What else is it in terms of code? It's one of the components. A view is a component, right?
Yeah.
Let's think about this. When this data right here, when our store, which it has state in it, can you scroll up a little bit? Come on. I'm a little too short. Down. Go up. Right here. Okay, so when the state right here, when that object is changed, so will our color. That's why you guys observed a few minutes ago that as we were typing, we changed the color of the input, that our state store was updated. That value changed the variable color on line 11, and thus the style of the big box was changed accordingly. How did we initiate that state change? Through this thing, through our grandchild. Our grandchild was deeply nested within the app component, yet it was able to it was able to move data up the component hierarchy. the component hierarchy. Because remember, at this morning's lab, the objective was that we had many routes inside of a component called app. And these two components were siblings, and we had to figure out how to get one piece of state in our login page to have data that was also existing in our dashboard page. And they were siblings. And what was the solution? We elevated state. So this is another technique of how to do this, and this is a more sophisticated design pattern. And if you know how to build something like this, Facebook will call you and offer you lots of money to move to America and go work at their company. And that's exactly what happened to Dan Abramov. That's a real story. Just read him. He's from Russia. He came up with Redux. Facebook went out of his way to hire this guy. And this is a design pattern that he came up with because he felt like this was the easiest way to manage a global state. So you guys are going to do that today, okay? We need to have two components share a piece of state, okay? The login page and the dashboard page. Two components. Both of these components are going to be siblings to each other within the app.js component.
Okay.